Hey guys, Jim here from DrinkABeerandPlayAGame, and I love me some video pinball. So today, let's take a look at Alien Crush on the TurboGrafx-16. Originally released in 1988, this was developed by Compile and published by Naxat. This was a TurboGrafx exclusive, even though later on it came out on the Virtual Console and on the PlayStation Network. Graphically, the game looks pretty damn good. It's nice and creepy and eerie, and it looks like you're actually inside the guts of an alien. It's kinda gross, but it's awesome. You have two static screens to play, which flip back and forth depending on whether you're at the upper table or the lower table. This can lead to a pretty painful looking strobe-like action when your ball's kinda stuck between the two, so that can get annoying. But that aside, the table looks great. You have a bunch of different random boss areas that you can go to and little special tables, so there's a lot going on here more than just what you have. But what you have looks great as well. As far as the sound goes, it's a pretty good package. The intro music's good, it's nice, it's dark, it's creepy, it's gloomy, and you get two different tracks to pick throughout the game, either Lunar Eclipse or Demon's Undulate, and both of these are excellent. They never wear on you, they never take away from the game. They're not distracting, but they're that perfect kind of background music that you'll just get stuck in your head for days. These are two fantastic tracks. To be fair though, the sound effects are a little on the minimalistic side. You get your normal pinball beeps and boops, but you do get some more squishier sounds, some explosions when you do certain effects, and of course when you're fighting against some of the kind of boss tables and special tables, there'll be some special kind of sound effects for hitting the creatures or the demons or bouncing off certain things. So while they do try to vary up the sound effects a little bit, it probably could have been better in my opinion. The control's about as simple as it can be. You can hit the left flipper with any button on the D-pad, the right flipper with the one button, and the two button you can use to tilt the table. And that's really about it. I've got no real complaints here. The control's responsive, the flippers work how you want them to, the control's perfectly fine. When it comes to the gameplay, it really does take a lot of normal pinball action, but it just adds so much to it. You have so many objectives, so many special little things to trigger, so many targets to go for, and you can go to all kinds of different special tables to fight either boss characters or kind of special event tables for bonuses. It's awesome. And the cool thing is, you can actually beat the game if you get a perfect score and 9s all across the board. I personally have not been able to do that. I've seen it online, so it is doable. It's the kind of game that makes you want to go again and again and again to try to get that perfect score. So, you get a perfect score, you get a kill screen, which is actually a game over, and you beat the game. So, that's awesome. Besides that, it's standard pinball action. The ball kind of feels a little bit floaty. It's not going to be perfectly playing as far as physics goes, but you're going to get used to it pretty soon, and you'll learn how to work it with the physics of the table and all the different targets. Every once in a while, the ball might just go flying at some random crazy angle, but outside of that, there's really no issues here with the overall way the game plays. When it comes to originality, I mean, just look at the table. It comes in the design, it comes in the special tables, comes in the boss fights, and it just comes in the overall feel and layout of everything that you're doing here. Sure, there's been pinball games before this that went above and beyond what normal pinball could do, but this is one of those ones that just really took the bull by the horns and just did everything it could with a video game to make it unique and awesome. When it comes to replayability, it's going to be the fact that it's going to take you a while to go back and try to get that perfect score. It's not an easy thing to do. So until then, you'll just be setting new high scores for yourself between you and your buddies or your family until you can hit that perfect score and beat the game. You can play either fast or slow, and that's really the only change in the game itself. Outside of that, it's just such a fun game, you will keep coming back to it. When it comes to beer, you're going to be concentrating on this game a lot. Like, you're not going to have the time outside of catching the ball to really take a breather in this game. So I'm going to recommend a beer that we actually talked about on a recent episode of the Power Hour, The Abyss by Duchette's. It is a stout that is barrel-aged. It has a real thick feeling to it. It sticks to your tongue. It sticks to the back of your throat. But it's also real easy drinking at the same time. So when you have time to drink, you'll be able to take a nice, relaxing sip of it without being distracted or getting a real harsh mouthfeel. But the overall flavor of it's just going to stick on the back of your tongue for a long time afterwards. And it's got a pretty good high alcohol percentage, so it'll give you a nice little buzz during the long playthroughs. Granted, you might not want more than, say, one bottle, because One, they're bigger than a normal bottle, and two, if you get too drunk, you're not going to hit these kill screens. So that's the give and take you're going to take with this, but if you want a nice, relaxing beer to go with a great game such as this, I can't recommend it enough, especially if you're a fan of stouts. So at the end of the day, do I recommend Alien Crush? Well, you bet I do. Honestly, this is a game that should have been the packing game instead of Keith Courage, because this does a way better job of showing what the TurboGrafx can do. You can get it on eBay for about $30 with the jewel case and manual, so for a quality TurboGrafx game, that's really on the lower end. So it's almost a no-brainer if you have the system. There was also a sequel/reboot known as Alien Crush Returns that was only released to WiiWare. So unfortunately, when the Virtual Console went away, that went away, meaning the game went away. So I never downloaded it before, and I don't have a way to do it now. So, yay, digital distribution, you did it again. All that aside, if you have a TurboGrafx, or if you just emulate, this is one you should definitely give a shot. It has a little bit of rough spots around the edges, especially with the fixed screens, but outside of that, this is just a really fun game, and if you've never played it before, I can't recommend it enough. Alright guys, that'll do it for this video. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever played this game, if you ever played Alien Crush Returns, and really what you think about Naxat soft pinball games in general. And yes, I'm probably saying that wrong. Either way guys, if you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you enjoyed this video, and you haven't yet, maybe subscribe. It always helps the channel out, and it'll let you guys know when our next videos are coming out. Also, don't forget to check out our more long-form video game reviews that I did with Brian, and of course, we are the home of the Power Hour podcast, also on iTunes. Cheers, guys.